West Side Story is my favorite movie. It is a musical based on the rivalry of a white and a Puerto Rican gang. What intrigues me so much about this movie, it's not the romance or the drama, but rather the storytelling it has to the singing and the dancing. With every twirl and every lyric, I can get a glimpse into the characters' lives. And with this window, I can also see how vibrant and how lively the culture is. With their music, with their food, with their dances, you can really paint a picture of what Puerto Rico is. But before you can understand its culture, you need to know its history first. According to Smithsonian Magazine, Puerto Rico was made a Spanish colony. They imported African slaves to produce sugarcane, cattle, tobacco, and coffee beans. But unintentionally, they also created a melting pot of all these different cultures of Africans, of Spaniards, of indigenous people. And this forever changed the trajectory of what the culture would have been for Puerto Rico. And for this reason, the history isn't forgotten, but rather embraced through parts of the culture. For example, Bad Bunny, he performed at the Super Bowl, and he is a Puerto Rican artist. And his symbolism throughout his performance is filled to the brim. For example, according to Seattle Times, the sugarcane field that he has displayed is an homage to Puerto Rico and its Puerto Rican citizens who harvest the crop. And additionally, Lady Gaga, who also performed at the Super Bowl, had the national Puerto Rican flower on her dress. This deepened and impacted the meaning of the symbolism. Throughout the rest of the performance, he used a set and his props to give imagery to his songs. And this was his way of piecing together different parts of his culture that he loved to share with his audience. And this isn't the only way you can embrace yourself with music, because ultimately, music as a whole can share a message. For example, songs can have themes of heritage, of storytelling, of politics. And we might recognize these songs as salsa, as plena, as reggaeton. According to the National Association for Music Education, reggaeton was known to be a bit inappropriate and a bit problematic. It had themes of homophobia and misogyny, but it also had themes of politics, like speaking up against racism and poverty. And this is what I love so much about Puerto Rican music. At the surface, you would have never been able to tell what the song was about, but once you look below the surface, you're able to capture the meaning, the true meaning of the song. And this is what makes it so powerful. And dancing is another way to express yourself through the music. For example, Latinos love to dance. We love to dance to music. Every event, there's always dancing. And with Bomba specifically, according to National Geographic, dancers and drummers unite. They work together to create and convey emotion through their dance. They sync up the rhythms and talk through body movements. And this dynamic between the dancer and the drummer makes it so powerful. It allows them to feel connected to their ancestors. This, paired up with their connection and dancing with their family members, shows how family oriented their community and culture really is, which makes it so powerful and so intriguing. And additionally, I think food is also an important part of that culture of community. Since Puerto Rico is a melting pot of the different cultures of Spaniards, of Africans, of indigenous people, there's a variety of foods. And for example, from Africa, we have tostones, maduros, and tamarindo. From Spain, we have arroz con dulce, we have empanadas, we have sofrito. And with the indigenous population, we have pasteles, yuca, and vivana. I hope I said that right. And the fact that these are the staples of the culture shows how integrated each culture really was with each other, shows that sense of community. And this really provides a perspective of how diverse all the population really is, and makes me really appreciate how loving everyone is in that community. So, Puerto Rican food is a mix of all these different cultures with love and care. And in short, Puerto Rico is a rich culture. It becomes evident with its food, with its dancing, and its music. And the combination of these three things makes it so vibrant and it makes it such a compelling culture. And it makes it so wonderful to be a part of it. Thank you.